There is someone in your life right now whose intentions you are not sure of. You thought of them just now when I said that. Maybe it is the new friend who appeared after your husband passed, so attentive, so quickly close. Maybe it is the relative who has suddenly warmed to you after years of distance, right around the time the will became a topic. Maybe it is someone at the church, someone on the phone, someone your gut has been circling for months while your good manners keep overruling it. You watch them, you listen to them, and their words are perfect. That is the problem. The words are always perfect. Words are the easiest thing on this earth to make perfect, and the people with the worst intentions often have the best words, because they have practiced, because words are their trade. So tonight I'm going to teach you what my people taught for generations, what my grandmother drilled into me the way other grandmothers drilled table manners. How to read what cannot be rehearsed, because intentions, true intentions, leak. They always leak. No person on this earth can guard every channel at once, and while their mouth is performing, the truth is escaping through 5 doors they forgot they left open. Tonight I will show you all 5 doors. And I want to say one thing before we begin, because this teaching has a spirit to it. I am not teaching you suspicion. A suspicious person reads everyone as a threat and dies alone behind their locks. I am teaching you reading. A reader sees what is actually there, the good and the bad. And my grandmother always said the great surprise of learning to read people is how much good you start seeing that you missed before. So this is not armor I am handing you tonight. It is eyes. Come and get them. The first thing that instantly reveals someone's true intentions is what they do with your good news. Mark this one first because it is the easiest to test and the hardest to fake. When something good happens to you, watch the first 2 seconds of their face. Not their words. The words arrive late and dressed. Watch the first 2 seconds before the dressing. A person who genuinely wishes you well lights up before they speak. It is involuntary, like warmth off a fire. The eyes widen, something lifts. But a person whose intentions are wrong, watch closely. There is a flicker first, a half second of something else, calculation, envy, a tightening. And then the mask arrives. That's wonderful. So happy for you. The words are right. The order was wrong. Joy came second. And my grandmother taught me the deeper version of this test, and I hand it to you tonight. She said, the ones who want good things for you celebrate your good news. The ones who want something from you evaluate it. Listen to the questions that follow your good news. The celebrator asks questions that let you enjoy it longer. How did it happen? Tell me everything. What will you do first? The evaluator asks questions that measure it. How much? Who else knows? What are you going to do with it? One set of questions opens the gift wider. The other set weighs it. And people cannot help which set of questions rises in them, because questions come from intentions the way smoke comes from fire. Bring good news like a lantern, my grandmother said, and walk it through your circle, and it will light every face honestly, and you will know more in 1 round of telling than in 10 years of watching. And there is a second half to this door that cuts even finer. Watch what they do with your bad news too, because the wrong-intentioned have a tell there as well, and it is stranger. Your misfortune animates them. Not that they gloat, nothing so crude, but notice the energy, the leaning in, the appetite for details, the way your trouble becomes the most engaging thing at the table. And notice, above all, how quickly and widely your bad news travels afterward, because the ones who feed on your misfortune always share the meal. The true intentioned go quiet at your bad news. It weighs on them. You can see the weight land, and it goes nowhere. Your trouble stays exactly where you set it down, in their keeping, like something valuable left with a trusted neighbor. Good news is the first test. Bad news is its twin. Between the two of them, no heart near you stays hidden for long. The second thing that instantly reveals intentions is how they treat the people who can do nothing for them. This is the oldest test my people had, and it has never once failed me in 70 years. A person's behavior toward you tells you almost nothing, because you have something. Everyone alive has something. Warmth, help, money, standing, a house, a vote, a signature. While they want what you have, their behavior toward you is a performance, and performances tell you about the actor's skill, not his heart. So do not watch how they treat you. Watch how they treat the waitress, the slow cashier, the man who cleans, the child who interrupts, the old woman ahead of them moving carefully with her cart. Watch them with anyone who holds nothing they want, because with those people the performance stops. There is no audience worth performing for, and what walks out is the true creature. The man who charms you at the table and is cold to the girl refilling the water has shown you his whole design in one gesture. He is kind where kindness pays and only where it pays, and the moment you can do nothing for him, you will be the waitress. Hear that again, because it is the whole teaching in one line. However, they treat the powerless in front of you is exactly how they will treat you the day you become powerless. And you are at an age, we all are, where that day is not theoretical. Choose the people around you now by how they treat the ones who can offer them nothing, because you are choosing who will stand around you in the season when you can offer them nothing. I learned the weight of this test from my grandmother in a single afternoon, and I will give you the afternoon. A man came courting my aunt in the old days, a fine-looking man with good prospects, and the whole family was taken with him. The manners, the gifts, the way he spoke to my grandfather with just the right respect. And my grandmother said almost nothing through the whole visit, which those who knew her understood was not shyness, it was watching. And when he had gone, and the family was singing his praises, she said one sentence. She said, "He stepped over the dog." And everyone looked at her, and she said it again. The dog was lying in the doorway, old and slow, and every person who came through that door that day paused for that dog, spoke to it, stepped around it with care, because that is what you do with an old creature who has earned its doorway. And this man stepped over it, did not see it. It was beneath his attention because it could do nothing for him, and his attention, she said, only falls on what serves him. Everything else, everything, is the dog in the doorway. And the family laughed at her gently, the way families laugh at grandmothers. A dog, she judges a man by a dog. And I will not stretch the story, you already know its ending. Within a few years my aunt knew exactly what it was to be the dog in that man's doorway, the powerless thing his attention stepped over on the way to what served him. My grandmother had read his whole future in one gesture that his charm forgot to guard. That is the power of the second door. The performance covers the main stage completely. It never covers the doorway. Watch the doorway. Before I share the next teaching, I need to tell you something. I'm not going to be here forever, and most of what I know was never written anywhere. So I sat down and I wrote it. All of it. 20 teachings, 4 parts in the order they were meant to be received. The ones about reading what cannot be rehearsed. The ones about choosing the people worthy of your last, best years. The ones I have never said on camera. It is called The Native Way, and it costs less than one dinner you will not remember. Scan the code on your screen or look in the comments. But do not leave yet, because the third door is the one the takers guard least, and once I show it to you, you will read it in every conversation you have this week. The third thing that instantly reveals intentions is the direction of their questions. Sit with anyone for an hour, and afterward do this simple accounting. What did they ask about? Because conversation feels shapeless while you are in it. But it has a shape, always, and the shape is drawn by their questions, and their questions are drawn by their intentions. And almost nobody thinks to guard their questions. A person who cares about you asks about you, your health, your days, your grief, your garden, the things you mentioned last time. Hear that one especially. The ones who remember and ask again about the thing you said 3 weeks ago. The doctor's visit. The worry. Those are the precious ones. Their questions have a memory because their care has a memory. But a person with an agenda, listen closely, their questions have a direction, and the direction is always toward the thing they want. Toward your money, dressed as concern, are you managing okay? Who helps you with your finances? What are you planning to do with the house? Toward your loneliness, dressed as sympathy, probing how alone you are, how often the children visit, mapping, hear me, mapping how defended you are. Toward the will, toward the property, toward whatever the intention is aimed at, the questions circle it, casual, friendly, patient, the way water circles a drain. One conversation tells you little, but the accounting over 3 visits, 4, never lies. Take a person you are unsure of and do the accounting tonight, from memory. What do they ask about? What do they never ask about? A man who asks about your accounts and never your aches has told you his whole heart. And a friend who asks about your aches and never your accounts, mark that one too and hold them close, because their questions have just shown you a clean intention. And clean intentions at our age are worth more than gold in the hand. The fourth thing that instantly reveals intentions is what happens when you say no. This is the master test, the one that outranks the other 4, and I want you to hear why. Everything else can be performed through. The charming can perform warmth, perform patience, perform interest for months, for years, if the prize is large enough. But no is the one thing an agenda cannot absorb gracefully, because no stands directly between the intention and its object, and when you block a path, whatever was traveling that path crashes into your no and shows itself in the wreck. So watch, with great attention, what happens the first time you decline. A person who loves you receives your no and stays the same temperature. They may be disappointed, disappointment is honest, but the warmth holds, the visit continues, the relationship does not flicker, because the relationship was never a road to something, it was the destination itself, and your no closed nothing they were traveling toward. But a person who wanted something, oh, watch the weather change. Sometimes it is cold that arrives, the sudden shortness, the visit that wraps up quickly, the calls that thin out after, and the thinning tells you exactly what the calls were for. Sometimes it is pressure, the arguments, the repetitions, the asking again differently, the recruiting of others to ask on their behalf. And sometimes, mark this one darkest, it is guilt. After everything I have done for you, I guess I know where I stand, the instant reaching for your softest lever. Any of those weathers, any change of temperature at your no, is the intention undressing in front of you. My grandmother put it in a sentence I want on your wall. She said, "Everyone is kind when the answer is yes. Character is what remains at no. If you are unsure of someone, and you have the strength for the answer, give them a small no, a test no, something minor, and stand quietly and watch the weather. 2 seconds of weather will teach you what 2 years of yes never could." A widow I knew ran this test without meaning to, and it saved her more than money. After her husband passed, a couple from her congregation drew close to her, wonderfully close, dinners, calls, small kindnesses, and within the year they were her nearest people, and within a little more, there came talk of an investment, a family business of theirs, a sure thing, an opportunity offered out of love. And she was inclined toward it, that is the truth. The closeness felt real to her, but the amount frightened her, so she said, not a no even, she said, "Let me think on it a while. I want to speak with my son first." That was all. "Let me think, and I will ask my son." And she told me afterward that the temperature of that friendship changed in the time it takes a cloud to cross the sun. Not rudeness, nothing you could name in a complaint, just a cooling. The dinners thinned, The calls shortened. And when she finally gently declined the investment altogether, the friendship completed its withering inside 2 months, this great warm closeness of nearly 2 years, gone at the speed of a season, and she sat in her kitchen and grieved it. And then, being a wise woman, she stopped grieving and started thanking, because she understood what she was looking at. She had not lost a friendship. A friendship was never there. She had watched a 2-year performance close on the night the box office failed, and her small hesitation, her let me think, had bought the truth at the lowest price it was ever going to be offered. The no test is not cruelty, my friend. It is the cheapest truth you will ever purchase. Every other way of learning that couples' intentions would have cost her the savings. And the fifth thing, the deepest door, is time. What they do with time reveals what all the words conceal. Hear the old teaching on this. Words are free, my grandmother said, and money is cheap. But time is a person's actual life, the only thing they truly spend, and so where a person puts their time is where their heart actually is. No exceptions, no appeals. The relative who says you mean the world to them and has not spent an afternoon with you in 4 years has given you 2 testimonies, and the calendar's testimony outranks the mouth's every time, in every court my people ever held. And there's a finer grain to this door, so look closely. Notice when they come. The ones with clean intentions come in your ordinary time, the plain Tuesday, the uneventful month, when you have nothing to distribute and nothing is happening but you. The ones with aimed intentions appear at the moments of opportunity, after the diagnosis, after the sale of the land, around the holidays of giving, near the will, and they are missing. Notice it. Missing in the long gray stretches when there is nothing to be near you for but you. Draw the map of a person's appearances across 2 years, and you will see their intention drawn on your calendar in their own hand. And notice, last of all, the quality of the time. The one who checks their screen through your every sentence, who is present in body and elsewhere in spirit, is spending time's shell on you and its meat somewhere else. But the one who sits with you unhurried, who lets the afternoon go long, who is not always halfway to leaving, that person is spending their actual life on you. And nobody, hear me, nobody spends their actual life on a person they are merely using. Using is efficient. Love wastes time gladly by the hour. Find the ones who waste time on you. They are the true ones. It is the one thing no taker will ever counterfeit, because it is the one coin they cannot bear to spend. So there are the 5 doors. The first 2 seconds with your good news, their way with the powerless, the direction of their questions, the weather at your no, and the map of their time. And now let me close with the spirit of it as I promised. You will be tempted to take these 5 and go audit everyone, and some of you should. Some of you have a name that has been circling all night. And yes, run the tests gently and believe the results, and act on them. Guard your money and your heart accordingly. But do not stop at the guarding, because these doors open both ways. Somewhere in your circle is a person who lights up in the first 2 seconds, who is gentle with waitresses, whose questions remember your worries, whose warmth never flickered at any no you ever gave, who shows up on the plain Tuesdays and lets the afternoon run long. You have such people, almost everyone has 1 or 2, and they have been reading true for years while your attention was spent on the doubtful ones. That is the oldest mistake of the human heart. We study our thieves and take our treasures for granted. So tonight, yes, note your thieves, and then go tell your treasure that you see them. Use the time door yourself. Spend an unhurried hour on them this week, because the 5 doors reveal your intentions too, my friend. And let your calendar testify to the ones who deserved your best all along. If what you heard today stayed with you, the book is there. The Native Way, 20 teachings, 100 pages. written the way I would speak to you if we were sitting together. Scan the QR code on the screen with your phone or find the link in the comments. Read one chapter. Sit with it. Now I want to hear from you. Tell me in the comments, which of the 5 doors just explained someone in your life? I read every comment. And if this is the kind of conversation you have been looking for, subscribe to this channel. We are not collecting viewers here. We are collecting people who remember. Come back next week. I am not done teaching yet.